Hey everyone, welcome to The Alternates, a basketball show for the others where we like to showcase independent music and discuss all things basketball. We've got a really fun show lined up for you today. Our friend Clayton is on tour, which means I have a special guest coming in to join us for this episode. We will be getting into the headliners. We're going to be taking a trip to the altar of the basketball gods and asking for some kind of wish. We'll be playing 3-Pack, my favorite trivia segment, and then of course, Bet Brains. Time to put some money down at the casino of Clayton. That's right, he might be on tour, but the casino stays open. All that and more coming up right after this song, which is Postwork Drink by Drunk Uncle off their self-titled 2020 Fiction Years tape. It was self-released, really good emo revival stuff. Hope you enjoy it. I will be back with our special guest right after.
I can't look at you the way that I used to. And that hurts you. I don't want that at all. I don't want that. I can't look at you the way that I used to. And that hurts you. I don't want that at all. I don't want that. It's shocking how quickly this postwork drink has become my routine. You can find me on the front of your phone screen. Just ignore all of my ramblings and how that the drugs won't work. Because this fantasy sure as hell didn't work. You just gotta trust me when I say that I'm trying. I don't want that.
What is up, y'all? Welcome to The Alternates. I am your host, Brian Cullen, and with me today is a very special guest, comedian, host of the hit podcast, What Things Are What Things, and the official representative of the Cavs consulate, Zach Pugh. Zach, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Brian. It's an honor to be here and to be the new Clayton, honestly.
You are. We are keeping him on the road, and you are being chained in this little room here. So
That's fine by me.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. It's an honor, man. We got the first guest on the Alternates.
Wow, it's an honor for me to
Yeah.
be taking over, maybe permanently. Who knows? Clayton seems to be really invested in this music thing in a way. It's like, pick a side, man, you know?
It's a phase. He'll get over it.
Yeah.
He'll get
Yeah.
over it. He'll realize that a YouTube show about basketball and punk rock is really going to be the moneymaker for him.
Yeah. The music thing is just like, come on, man, at a certain point.
Grow up, dude.
Yeah.
Just grow up. Well, we're super excited to have you here. I appreciate it. Before we jump into the first segment, I want to take a quick second and ask you to subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That's youtube.com/thealternates if you have not done so already. And like the video if you're watching it. That really helps us out. We are stacked against the algorithms and every little bit helps. If you're not catching us on YouTube, wherever you listen to the podcast, subscribe to that so you can stay up to date with all things Alternates. If you want to get a hold of us, you can do so by emailing thealternateshoop@gmail.com. You can follow the show on TikTok @thealternatesNBA, or you can drop us a comment in the comment section. We'll get back to you. As long as I'm not on film, I am sitting at home in my underwear, refreshing the comment section to every video. Zach, how are you, man?
I'm okay, My Cavaliers they've got heart. They've got the most heart I've ever seen in a basketball team. But the injuries are beginning to mount.
They are, yeah. It's tough. I still have hope for the Cavs.
They're going to be fine. They're going to go to the playoffs, which at this point,
huge,
more than I could have ever asked for.
Yeah, it's huge. How did you like? I'm assuming, are you from Cleveland?
I grew up in Canton, Ohio.
Okay,
about an hour south of Cleveland.
Yep.
And LeBron James was drafted in 2003 when I was 12 years old.
Okay,
so prime time to become obsessed with a basketball team for the rest of my life.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've seen some up and down years. Mm-hmm. Are you like a diehard LeBron fan?
Yeah. I mean, I root for the Lakers now that he's here.
Okay.
I want him to be happy. You know, he did what I did, which is leave Cleveland and come to LA, and I respect it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, dude, let's get into this first segment.
Yeah.
I've got some headlines here. I'm going to throw them your way. Let's get some takes. I want your Stephen A on all of these.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the Nets. And Kevin Durant makes his return after missing 6 weeks with an injured knee. This is huge for the Nets. Desperately needed. They really, really need this guy. Major setbacks for them recently. Obviously, Ben Simmons is not ready to play yet. And then, you know, the vaccine mandates are out the window for New York, but the private sector is still holding on to them. And I'm looking at their upcoming games. 12 of their next 19 games are in the city of New York.
Yeah.
So that means Kyrie won't be available for 12 of those 19. They really need Durant here.
Yeah. I mean, they've needed Durant clearly the whole season.
Yeah.
Even when they still had Harden and when Kyrie could play, they're still maybe one of the most confusing teams I've seen all year.
Hands down. It's so funny looking at the beginning of the season because I feel like the two teams that were picked to win it were the Lakers and the Nets. And they're the two teams I can't figure out.
Yeah.
Because they show these flashes where it's like, oh my God, this team is really good, but they're just not converting to wins. They're not consistent. I mean, the Nets have a little bit more, I think, of an understanding here, but
yeah. But and the Nets will also lose by 30 points to the Raptors, and then the next night we'll lose by 1 point with the same exact roster. No Kyrie. Patty Mills is scoring 30 points. I can't figure out what the what the roadmap is for this team at all.
They're so up and down. The only thing that worries me here with Durant, obviously minutes restriction, ease him back into everything. But with what I was just saying, missing Kyrie for the majority of the games left in this season, trying to fight out of the play-in tournament where they currently are, is that the amount of load that's going to be on Durant to carry them out of there. My biggest fear is it's opening up another injury. That it's going to be too much for him to carry.
Yeah.
And I mean, with how the last couple years have gone for him, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. And like, that sucks. And I like it. And if that does happen, I got to wonder what the offseason looks like for this team. Do they say, all right, well, Kyrie put our best player under too much stress by not being available? Or do they hope that the private sector opens things up for next season? I have no idea, but
yeah,
they need this. They need KD.
Absolutely.
And it's good to see him back. I love Kevin Durant. He's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he's incredible. Just maybe the best pure scorer I've ever seen in my entire life.
Over Harden?
Pure score, just getting a shot. Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Harden lives at the line.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Okay.
I love Harden too.
Well, speaking of the Nets, this next one involves them as well. Steve Nash and Devin Booker both entered health and safety protocol this week. I feel like it's been forever since we heard about anybody entering health and safety protocol.
Yeah.
And so I had two thoughts on this. One, maybe it's been happening this whole time and it's like, 14th guy on the team and they're just not announcing it. Nobody cares. Two, if this is the beginning of another wave of this, terrifying this time of year because so many teams are playing for playoff seeding. Like we just said, there's the Nets trying to get out of the play-in. The play-in in the West is getting really interesting. I mean, I think the Clippers are going to try to get out of it if they can. If this is the beginning of a second wave, this is terrifying for the league. Do you think that this is it, or is this just kind of like an anomaly?
It feels like an anomaly. It feels like Booker, I don't know what the news is at now, but they were saying that he's vaccinated, so he might just test out of it. It might have just been a false positive.
Yeah.
Nash, Canadian, so, their healthcare can't be trusted. Who knows what they put in his body for 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah. He got what he paid for. It was all free.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fair enough.
This is what you get with socialized medicine. Hope you're happy, Steve.
Yeah. This is the anti-China NBA making a stance right now. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with that. The last one here I think is interesting. So the Lakers waived DeAndre Jordan. He just cleared waivers, and he's signing with the Sixers. In order to make space for him, the Sixers are ending the 10-day contract that they have with Willie Cauley-Stein. I guess my question to you, is DeAndre Jordan better than Willie Cauley-Stein?
No, right? There's no way.
I don't think so.
But I think he's a vibes guy. I was having this conversation actually with Clayton and our friend Spencer in our basketball chat. DJ is a vibes guy, 100%.
Yeah, he's everybody's best friend.
Yeah, it's why he was on the Lakers. He was never supposed to play, and then half their roster got hurt, and we saw what happened. He tried to pass the ball, and it went 30 feet into the stands.
And that's his last play as a Laker.
Yeah, incredible. Truly incredible.
Do you think the decision was made then? It happened, and Pelinka was like, we're fucking waiving this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I bet they were like, we have to waive somebody, and then that was the moment of like, well, the guy who can't be on the court is the guy who's got to go.
Fair enough. I do love that it's a DeAndre Jordan, Doc Rivers reunion. I don't know how well that ended last time. I mean, look, I have shit on Doc a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Deservedly so. I'm going to say right now, he deserves everything.
One of the most overrated coaches of all time.
Could not agree more with that. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
But he also is the guy that's responsible for kind of discovering DeAndre Jordan. Like he's bad now. There's no way around it. DeAndre Jordan's not good, like we were just saying. But there was a point in time where he was really good.
Yeah.
The Lob City years with the Clippers, he was great. And that all came from Doc Rivers. You know, before Doc got there, it was Vinny Del Negro, never gave him playing time, never looked at him. And then Doc came in and said, hey, I see something with this guy, and played him. Maybe there's hope that he can bring some of that back. But it's interesting to me because almost every player that has played for Doc and then left has not had the greatest things to say about Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
So maybe this is like the one relationship that stayed together. They're still good. Everything's fine. I mean, even his fucking son doesn't have great things to say about him.
Yeah.
But maybe DeAndre is the son that Doc never had.
That's a nice way to think about it. I like that.
Or maybe Doc is the father DeAndre never had. I have no idea, but it's interesting. I mean, I don't see him getting much playing time, but you're right. I get it. Vibes guy. You kind of need a vibes guy when you're bringing in James Harden.
Yeah, especially the Sixers. They don't have a whole lot of vibes guys, honestly. Like a lot of very good basketball players, but not a whole lot of personality on that
you don't
team.
think Furkan Korkmaz is tearing things up in the locker room?
I mean, we've seen the hype video. We know that Furkan turns up, but
I mean, he is the wildest man in the NBA here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that's it for headliners.
All right.
Do you hear the church bells?
I think I hear them.
That means that we're going to the altar of the basketball gods.
All right.
So, you might not know this. This is a basketball gods fearing show.
Okay.
We fully believe and have faith in the basketball gods, no matter how spiteful they might be at times.
Yeah, and there are multiple gods.
Yeah,
it's a polytheistic situation.
One god could not do all the damage.
Okay, yeah.
that has happened that I've seen, at least in my time watching the NBA.
Yeah.
So I've got an ask for the gods. Do you have one, or do you want me to go first?
You go first. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know if you saw this, but the Utah Jazz, I think it's since been deleted. It was a sponsored ad that they put up for a ticket package for the month of March, $65. So full honesty, Clayton sent this to me. And I just saw that it was like 8 games and it was $65. And my response was, that's crazy. $65 for 8 games?
Yeah.
And then I looked at the games lineup. So it's Trailblazers, Kings, Bucks, Bulls, Dr. Jordan Peterson, Clippers, Lakers. Wait, what? Dr. Jordan Peterson, the guy who's like leading the war against gender identity, against his whole thing is like masculinity is going away and that we need to bring it back. And
yeah,
like,
eating vegetables is bad. All these things.
He's just the champion of shit.
Yeah.
And they somehow Trojan horsed in this ticket package tickets to see this guy speak live at their arena. I know that I've been asking for positive things from the gods. I realized it doesn't work.
No.
I need to pander to the mean nature of the basketball gods, and I'm asking for them to do something to the Jazz for this. They deserve something for this.
Yes.
Like, my first thought is, how vindicated does Russell Westbrook feel right now after the incidences that he's had there? Like Mitt Romney had a hand in this, right? This was for sure Mitt Romney working with ownership.
I'm sure. I mean, also Jordan Peterson, he makes money, and at the end of the day, these owners, they all just are billionaires who want a bunch of money.
Or like somebody slipped it in thinking it was a joke and it went through, and they just saw Jordan Peterson and somebody was like, "It sounds like a basketball player." And
yeah, I mean, also the Venn diagram, I think of Utah Jazz fans and Jordan Peterson fans.
That's fair. That's fair.
The middle's pretty big.
That's fair. I mean, you got to feel so bad for the Utah Jazz fans out there that hate this, and that it just keeps, they don't get a break. No. And it's got to be so hard to separate yourself
relentless
from that. Yeah.
You got your guy started COVID. Jordan Peterson is coming in. There's just no escape for these guys.
I love that it started COVID. First recorded case.
Yeah. Started it. Probably where it'll end.
Yeah, maybe Jordan Peterson started the whole Wuhan thing. They paid him to start that rumor.
I mean, he has started looking worse and worse since it started. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe they're bringing it back.
Yeah, they're doing a reunion tour.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. They're getting the old band back together. Okay. What's your ask of the basketball gods?
Well, I mean, the obvious one would be that no more Cavaliers get hurt. But again, asking for positive things doesn't work.
Don't tempt fate.
I'm going to kind of mix it up here. I want Russell Westbrook to succeed so that the Lakers fans who have been so mean to him all year have to swallow their pride and cheer him on and accept that Russell Westbrook is deserving of love and respect.
Well, that's like the interesting thing, right? It just came out, which it wasn't in headliners, but I'm glad you brought it up. Basically, reports are coming out now that there's mutual interest between Russ and the Lakers to move off of each other this offseason.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah. So he's saying he's open to playing somewhere else. The Lakers are saying, yeah, we probably don't really want you here next season. So I like this ask because it's actually, I think I see it playing out with him going somewhere else and then having a resurgence year.
Absolutely.
Somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, if I thought the Wizards was going to do it for him, I don't know who it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, the Wizards we're seeing kind of a disaster no matter who's in the driver's seat, unfortunately.
It's the Jordan curse.
Yeah. I like all the guys there, and it still doesn't work. Maybe Westbrook goes to the Knicks. They're the only ones who would take that contract on.
They fucking would, and that would be the most Knicks move ever.
And it might work.
Could you imagine Westbrook and Thibodeau together?
Oh, man. They love each other. They love each other so much.
It'd be like the most toxic duo in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I would love to see Knicks fans embrace Russell Westbrook. It's just... Okay, like this is all like setting in now. I love this idea of Russ going to the Knicks. I hate it for Knicks basketball, but I love it for Knicks culture.
Absolutely.
The just psychopath for psychopath, they fit so well together.
Oh yeah, I mean that is big bing bong energy is Russell Westbrook going to the Knicks.
Big bing bong energy. Yeah. How is that not a shirt right now?
It can be. I think I just figured out the first alternates merch thing.
There we go. Okay, perfect.
You're making money.
Well, that's such a wow. First time at the altar, and you come up with a banger like that.
Yeah,
I'm impressed.
Oh.
Okay, all right. Well, that's going to be hard to follow up, but let's try.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
So it's time to get into 3-pack.
Okay.
So 3-pack is a trivia segment that we have. It's essentially 2 truths and a lie.
All right.
All right. So we brought you on. As I said at the top, you are a Cavs super fan. Super fan.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. That actually makes this a lot more fun because this is going to be a Cavs 3-pack.
Hell yeah.
So I did a deep dive on the Cavs history. I learned a lot. Last time I did this, I did it with the Kings. And I got to say, there's got to be a book about the history of the Kings.
Yeah.
Read it.
Yeah.
Just my internet research. It's the most fascinating history I've ever seen in an NBA team.
Yeah.
But we got to the Cavs, which was still fascinating.
Yes.
So the Cavs joined the NBA in 1970. They were an expansion team. They've had a bunch of highs and lows, as you know, following them. They've had, obviously, the highest high a team could experience, and they have these long droughts of, missing the playoffs, Anthony Bennett. There's all kinds of stuff in there, right? So they've got 1 championship as a team, 5 conference titles, 7 division titles. I think the Cavs are doing pretty well for themselves. I love what they're doing right now, but let's look at the history here. And then actually, I just thought of this. I got a question for you afterwards in regards to the Cavs. All right, so fact number 1. In early 1980, the team was purchased by Ted Stepien. Under his ownership, the team made regular practice of habitually trading away first-round picks for mediocre talent. As a result, the NBA intervened with what is now called the Stepien rule, which prohibits teams from trading consecutive first-round picks in a trade. Fact number 2. Ultimately landing on the name Cavaliers, they were also almost named the Foresters and the Presidents. Those were the 2 runner-ups for the Cavaliers. The Foresters and the Presidents. And then finally here, in 1989, led by Mark Price, the team won a franchise-best 57 games. This winning record has still not been surpassed, but it has been tied twice. In 1992, also led by Mark Price, and then again in 2016, led by LeBron, which of course is the year that they went on to win the title. Which one of those is the lie?
Number 3 is going to be the lie.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
I mean, I almost brought up Stepien before we even got into the 3-pack as we started talking about the history of the Cavs. That is one where, as a Cavs fan, I have to hear about it every year, every draft. They will mention the Stepien rule. As a Cleveland fan, I've learned that all of our failures in every sport will be brought up every year, over and over again, because there is always a rule.
Fair enough. And then the Foresters and Presidents, were you aware of that?
The Presidents I remember, because it is such a weird name.
So strange.
But it's because I think multiple presidents were born in the Northeast Ohio area. William McKinley is from Canton, Ohio.
Yeah.
I believe Garfield is from Ohio as well.
Okay.
So they were just kind of...
Doesn't Ohio have the most astronauts of any state as well?
That sounds right. Yeah.
I think that's true. Everybody that was born in Ohio tries to leave the planet.
Yeah. Get me out of here. The whole planet's got to be done if they gave us Ohio.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm shocked. So I got to say, I vetted this with Clayton, and he got it wrong.
Yeah.
He guessed it wrong. This was the ultimate, okay, so obviously, the show here is basketball and with a punk rock twist.
Yeah.
This was the ultimate, oh, you like that band? Name 3 things. You passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
You nailed it. So, yeah, their draft picks are also really interesting to me because they've had a total, 6 first-round picks. 2 of them have gone on to win Rookie of the Year.
That sounds right.
I was kind of shocked it wasn't more. I thought Anthony Bennett for sure would have.
Man, he had the potential, I
know. It's funny. The Cavs never really got on my radar until... because I grew up a Clippers fan.
Right.
And they never popped on my radar until Darius Miles went there.
Oh, yeah.
And talk about a disappointment.
Score.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Great
that movie,
actor.
dude.
Great basketball player.
Yeah. Why is he not in the MCU right now?
He should be. Yeah.
He's the one guy that should have made it out of that movie. Okay. So my question to you is, it popped in my head. We had a debate on the show, I think a few weeks ago. It was right after All-Star break when LeBron said, I'm not closing the door on a return. What is I got to know your opinion on this. Would you want LeBron to come back possibly as a gap year, kind of a 1-year stop before wherever his son gets drafted and he goes there?
Nothing in this world would make me happier than LeBron to come back for a 3rd time.
Wow.
1/3 run.
Okay.
Because you put LeBron on this team right now, and I don't know who beats him.
That's fair. So I argued against it.
Okay.
Just because of where, what it took to get to the Cavs now and what we just saw happen with the Lakers. It's the LeBron effect as he comes in, wipes out the future. And maybe he doesn't have as much power to do that in a single year. I just love this Cavs team so much. I don't want anything to shake it up. I would rather take a slower route to sustained winning than a 1-year stop to try to go all in with this team.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't give up any of our guys for him. And
yeah, so no trade.
But
signing outright you would do.
Signing outright, or you trade Kevin Love, let him get bought out, and then bring him back on a minimum contract or something.
I was going to say, if LeBron comes back, Love's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but you have to.
They're giving him another 5 years.
If you made a trade, you would have to throw Love in to make the money work. Because nobody else in the Cavs makes any money.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're all 19 years old.
If the Lakers are trading LeBron, I don't think they're looking for Kevin Love in return.
No, absolutely not.
But you would do it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So from the outside, I wouldn't do it. But as a Cavs fan, I get what he means to you. Yeah. I get the sentimental factor.
And there's it would be the first time he'd be going to a team that is already set and ready to go. Whereas, the reason the Lakers are kind of a mess is because they were a mess before he got there.
That's fair.
So
That's
it was
very
kind of
fair.
like fixing what was already broken. Whereas like Cleveland, you're just kind of plugging in another guy who can handle the ball, which they only have one guy who can do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay, you're starting to talk me into it a little bit more. What if he signs and then he like pens this letter, so excited to come back, and he lists everybody but Evan Mobley in the letter?
well, I mean, then we have an issue. Then we absolutely have an issue.
Okay.
Yeah, Evan Mobley, non-starter. He's not going anywhere.
Is he winning Rookie of the Year?
He's got to, right? I mean, at this point, just process of elimination, I feel like.
I mean, Cade Cunningham is making quite the statement right now for himself.
Sometimes. And then sometimes he scores 4 points. And you're just like...
But he still affects the game in other
he
ways.
does. No, he is very
Look,
good.
I had a huge debate with Clayton. I was like, you're crazy if you think anybody other than Evan Mobley is winning.
Mm-hmm.
And he has just gotten in my head, and now I'm watching Cade Cunningham, and I'm going, oh, this guy's fucking special.
He is really good.
Yeah.
But he's missed a bunch of games, and also these awards, they're all about, is the team winning? They love that.
Absolutely.
For everything.
Yeah.
So I think that the fact that the Cavs are going to be like a 4 or 5 seed probably is what pushes Mobley over.
So he would be the third Rookie of the Year for the Cavs.
Yeah.
LeBron, Kyrie, and Mobley. I mean, that's great company.
Yeah.
Okay. I love it. I'm having so much fun watching this team.
Yeah.
All right, time for our last segment.
Okay.
As I said at the top, Clayton is on tour, but the casino never closes.
I love it.
Time for Bet Brains. So last week, I put money down on 3 bets. Bet number 1, it was the Celtics back-to-back at Detroit Saturday, at Indiana Sunday. He set the line Celtics over 230.5 points plus 300. I loved it. I put $75 down. Game number 1, they scored 113 in a win against Detroit. I thought to myself, okay, 115 is all you got to score here to make it happen.
Against the Pacers?
Yeah, I was like 118.
Yeah.
Like we can make this happen. Mm-hmm. Next game, they scored 107 in a loss. 120, or 220 combined points. I was so close.
Yeah.
I was so sure of this. Mm-hmm. Lost $75 out the window. Second was Pelicans at Lakers. Over 29.5 3-pointers made, plus 400. I wasn't too high on this one. I only put $25 down. The Pels shot 13 of 30, which is great. That's actually elite if you look at it.
Yeah.
And then the Lakers shot 7 of 34.
Mm-hmm.
20%. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. That game to me felt like it was the final coffin and like, okay, the Lakers are officially awful this year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm officially awful because I lost $25 there. And then the last bet was Mavericks at Jazz on Friday. Doncic shoots 50, 40, 90 in the game, plus 600. I believed in him. I put $50 down. Didn't happen. 33, 33, and 100% shooting splits.
Man.
I thought the 100 could get me over the line, but apparently that's not how the casino works. So I lost $150 altogether. I'm still up $475 though at the casino.
Okay.
So we've got some betting lines here that Clayton sent in to us.
Okay.
We've got to spend a minimum of 100 alternates dollars.
All right.
I'm giving you my bank.
Okay.
Bet number 1, Raptors at Cavaliers on Sunday. The Cavs have to win the tip and score first, plus 300 odds.
That's juicy. That's a good bet.
You got $575 to play with here.
I mean, listen, the Raptors don't have a center. They literally don't have a center on their roster. Cavs are winning the tip.
Okay.
That's set in stone.
Okay.
The question is, do you think Cavs can then score first before the Raptors? Pretty good offense. I think I would probably go $70 on this.
70. I love it. Okay. 70. You know what? I'm making it 75.
Yeah.
Let's make it 75. Okay.
Yeah.
I love the confidence there. All right, second bet here. Warriors at Lakers on Saturday. Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony, Austin Reeves, and THT will make more threes than Steph Curry, plus 400 odds.
Now, this one is mean, I'll say. This is definitely the meanest of the 3 lines that Clayton put together.
I love this one.
Yeah, it is very good. I think that I'm going to take that one for sure because Steph just not shooting that well this year.
No.
And those 4 guys, they would have to together.
Hey, man.
Get more than 7?
7-34 is the team against the Pelicans last week.
Yeah. But no Melo in that game, right?
No Melo, but Steph also just had a massive game the other night.
That's right. This one, I think 25 on this one feels
25,
like
okay. We're keeping it conservative.
Yeah.
All right. 25. All right. And then last bet, Rockets back-to-back, Sunday at home versus the Grizzlies, Monday on the road in Miami, Houston over 33.5 turnovers, plus 500 odds.
Man, that is so many turnovers. But also...
That's right. I mean, that's... 16 point something turnovers? That's right around their average.
Their average about 16 and a half, yeah. And Miami, one of the best defensive teams, feels like they might bully them. Grizzlies, they love to steal because then they get to dunk the ball.
Yeah.
I think you got to take that one too. I think 50 on that one.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got $125 down on these bets.
Mm-hmm.
We will check back in next week and see how we did on this. I hope you win the show some money.
Yeah.
We're doubling these alternates dollars. These are good odds.
Yeah.
I actually feel pretty good about that last one. I think the turnovers are going to be high.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. We appreciate Clayton. Thank you for setting those lines.
Yeah, thanks, Clayton.
Well, that's the show. Zach, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me. This was a blast.
First guest, we're getting you back on in a couple weeks. Is that right?
I believe. Well, we got to look at the calendar and figure it out.
Fair enough.
Things are fluid right now.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome back anytime. So happy to have you here. Before we get out, man, plug away. I want the alternates listeners and watchers. Where can they stay up to date with your work? Plug the show. Any dates you have coming up, any of that stuff, go for it.
Yeah. What Things Are What Things, the podcast, you already mentioned it. That's the one I host. Clayton has been on it multiple times. You can find me on Instagram, Pugh Zachman. Just look Zach Pugh up. You'll find it. I am going to be in Denver in 2 weeks doing some shows. And then I'm recording an album in Davenport, Iowa on April 16th. It's at the Raccoon Motel.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, we're going to keep an eye out for that. Thank you for coming on. Thank you all for joining us. I will be back Tuesday with another guest as Clayton stays on the road forever.
Boo.
And we are trying to find his replacement. Thank you all so much. Remember to be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. I am going to leave you with this song. It is Antisocial by Short Days off of their 2017 self-titled LP on No Glory Records. See you in a couple days. Thank you.